Huge thanks to Mantry and to Bourbon Barrel Foods for making this video possible. Let's make a bourbon and brown butter steak. Let's get into it. And this magical creation starts off with a New York strip steak, which we're going to slather with some Graza Sizzle as a binder. We're just going to drizzle some on and we're going to rub it in. Make sure you get both sides. Once your steak is all lubed up, we're going to season. This time I'm going with Bourbon Smoked Chef's Blend seasoning from Bourbon Barrel Foods, which came in my latest Mantry box. And this is a thick boy, so we're going to season it generously on both sides as well as the edges. And now that your kid is all seasoned up, it's time to cook this thing. Let's go over to the stove with a cast iron pan, which has been preheating for about 5 minutes on medium-high heat. We're going to hit it with some Wagyu tallow from South Chicago Packing. We'll get about a tablespoon in there and just let that melt. Then we'll swirl the skillet to coat it evenly, and we'll add our steak. We'll let it cook for about 1.5 minutes on that side, and then let's give it a flip. And then since this is such a thick boy and we seasoned them so nicely, I like to get the edges as well. We'll give that about 1 minute and flip it over to the other edge. And then before the pan gets too hot and those seasonings start burning, I turn the heat down to medium. Let's go back to cooking it on the flat side. And once again, we'll go about 1.5 minutes per side. And as you can see, we're getting a beautiful crust on this steak, which means it's time to add some butter and start basting. This is a compound butter I made with some garlic, parsley, lemon zest, and lemon juice. And once it's melted, we start basting. I do this for about 45 seconds per side. Then we give it a flip, admire the money shot, and continue basting for another 45 seconds to 1 minute. Repeat this process one more time on each side for about 1 minute, and then we'll check our temp. My temp was running about 118, so now it's time to add some bourbon. As that's burning off, I'll kill the heat on the stovetop. And then one final base with that bourbon butter. Then we remove it to a cooling rack to rest, and let's make a sauce out of that bourbon butter. I'll add another tablespoon of my compound butter and whisk it in. Quick tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Heat is on medium, by the way. A splash of apple cider vinegar. Another quick splash of bourbon, and light it. And as those flames are dying out, we'll add a couple more pats of regular unsalted butter and then whisk vigorously for 5 minutes to emulsify. And then we can pour that sauce over our steak in the final moments of its resting. We'll transfer it to a cutting board, and let's give this kid a slice down the middle and see how he did. Oh, yes. Cheers. Don't eat boring food. See ya. Wow. Lord Almighty. It's so good. Thank you, God. Now I can't get back up.